It's the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast with Alex Trataros, John Meleka, and Raisi on the beat. Let's go.
Raisi K, the Raisin Man.
Yo, what's good, everyone? Alex Trataros here on the check-in for another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. And I just want to give you this little update. We were expecting to have our guy on, Shukri Wrights. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it for this episode, so we had to reschedule with him. Hopefully, we'll be back on when the Jets play the Patriots again in a few weeks. But you'll probably hear throughout this episode that Greg, John, and myself, we were looking forward to talking ish with Shukri. So unfortunately that didn't happen, like I said, but we still give you that analysis for this Jets Patriots game. But just want to give you a little clarification that there will not be an interview with Shukri this episode, but still make sure to sit tight and enjoy. What's good, everyone? Alex Trataros here with another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. And with me, as always, my buddy, my close pal, the man, the plan, the one and only, John Meleka. And with us always, the Rock, the legend himself, video producer Greg.
And all black for the all black week, Alex. We're here. We're ready to go.
Let's go, Greg.
Oh, he came prepared. He knew what he was doing.
I'm glad you're carrying that energy. I mean, we usually do the intro stuff, but we were brought up the jerseys. Let me ask you, dude. Let me ask you straight up right now. We are as superstitious as they come, right? When it comes to baseball, it comes to football. Not really basketball because our team just usually loses. Not this year. But in general, we're usually superstitious when it comes to our sports teams. That's why we've been rocking the white shirt, black pants, bro. And now, as you said,
and green helmet.
But this game was planned all year. Going home, we got the all black, the stealth black, like you said, with the brand new black helmet, the Brickshaw Ferguson day. Does that worry you? A little bit, even an inch?
Not at all, man. Spooky season. It's Halloween coming up. We're ready to go. We're blacked out. We're ready to go for this game.
Look at this man. He said it's gonna be. He said Halloween Eve, spooky season. Jets about to do something big. Be on the lookout. I love it,
dude. I mean, talking about seeing ghosts, right? The last game we saw with the Patriots was on Monday, short week. Both the quarterbacks seeing ghosts, man. They're trying to blame a wire. I mean, life is good.
Life's tough in New England. It's good for us right now.
Oh yeah, man. Look, they just lost to the Chicago Bears earlier this week.
They did not lose to the Chicago Bears.
Oh yeah, you're right. They got demolished.
They got absolutely dismantled by the worst offense in the NFL.
Mollywopped?
They can only do one thing, John. They can only do one thing. So I'm happy we're here to talk about it. We're happy to preview it. But we got to run the ball. Well,
before we get into all that, let's take care of some housekeeping because earlier this week we got some bad news and we didn't get to really talk about it. Earlier this week we found out that we lost Breece Hall to an ACL tear. We lost Elijah Vera-Tucker to a triceps tear, and Corey Davis is day to day. Now, with the event of Breece Hall being out for the year, the New York Jets, thanks to Joe Douglas and his willing and dealing, we got James Robinson here in-house now from the Jacksonville Jaguars. But before we get into James Robinson, fellas, losing Breece Hall and AVT, that we're talking about two major key factors. We're talking about Breece Hall, who was on a rookie of the year type campaign, and Elijah Vera-Tucker, the most versatile lineman that we've had on this team, really playing every position that we needed and that we asked from him. Both these guys are down.
Best player on the whole team.
Yeah, facts. How are you guys feeling? I'm a little upset, man. I'm not only upset, I'm a little concerned going into this week, but not as concerned after getting James Robinson and just looking at the Patriots, man, and how bad they are right now. I'm concerned, but not as concerned as I would have been in the past if this was like the same old Patriots. So I'm going to open up to you guys. What do you feel, man? How do you feel about these losses?
So we got on here, as always, right after the game ended on Sunday. It was at 4 o'clock. We get on for the rapid reaction. We were supposed to be the happiest we've ever been ever. right? The New York Jets have got their win total for the year on Vegas, and we're 5-2. We got it by week 7. I mean, totally unbelievable. 1-0 in the division, 4-0 on the road, and yet we're sad. And has nothing to do with, the numbers from the quarterback. It has nothing to do with anything except for injuries. And we didn't know the extent of it. Like you said, it turned out to be catastrophic for both players. Breece Hall, we kind of knew it. We were trying to be a little optimistic, especially because of Zach Wilson knee stuff, earlier in the year. We're like, all right, let's just wait. We never know. They were kind of hinting at something. But the AVT stuff, man. That's a real
shocker.
That's a dagger through my heart, bro. That's a real tearing your triceps, first of all, is a scary injury. Like, just by itself, that is a scary injury, especially for a lineman. But losing him for the year, I mean, I didn't even see him get hurt. I didn't see him leave. We didn't hear anything really about him post game.
He just left, and it was like medical tent out, and it was like, okay.
I thought maybe like 2-3 weeks, maybe 5 weeks come, towards the end of the season. Half of the year is crazy, man. Luckily for us, we have George Fant coming back hopefully in 2 weeks. We have Max Mitchell maybe hopefully coming back in 2 weeks after that bye. So things are looking up a little bit. I'm concerned Nate Herbig's fine at right guard. We got this guy Cedric I'll just call him Cedric OG, right? I don't know how to say his name. He's from the Bengals. Hopefully he's a nice plug and play there. Joe Douglas, I trust his O-line stuff. So here we are, man. The O-line, it's a work in progress. We're going to have to get over it. The season can't be over because we lost a guard.
Nope.
Right? At the end of, he was filling in for a right tackle, but he's a guard, right? I mean, at the end of the day, the season can't be over. The season could be over if you can't run the ball, especially because that's all we do correctly, right? Which is a problem for the offensive line. But thank God we got James Robinson, who's really young, who we've had our eye on for a couple of years. Like, if you go back into our Twitter, and you search like James Robinson and us, we were all over him when he was a free agent. We wanted him on the Jets. So I don't feel great, but at this point, I'm over it. Like, it's Wednesday. The Coach Salas press conferences have been amazing. Even when he announced this, like, Greg, I know you're listening to every single press conference, so I'm curious about your take. Bobby Saleh, man, when he got on the presser and he's like, the first thing he said was, "We lost AVT. He's out for the year. We lost a lot. We lost Breece Hall. He's out for the year." Like, he's just as devastated as we are. He just wanted to get it out of the way and just move on. And this team, dude, for some crazy reason, it's the perfect week for it to be Patriots week. I'm not underselling the New England Patriots. I don't give a damn what happened last Monday. I'm excited about it. I'm going to talk about it later at the end here, but I don't give a damn about it. It means nothing. Honestly, the Jets should bury that tape, okay? This is going to be a whole brand new team. The last time we played New England, we lost by 50, okay? And they were doing go routes when we were down by 30, okay? We lost our 2 best players. Our players are going to have to step up. Our GM believes in us. Our GM believes in this team, and he made that very clear by trading a 5th/6th round pick. I hope it's a 5th round pick for James Robinson. So I feel okay, man. This Corey Davis thing, we all knew he was going to be out during the year. We knew it. We knew it was just a matter of when, not if. We're gonna get into this Elijah Moore stuff, but he's back, so I feel okay, man. I feel okay going into this New England game, and it's really because of the GM having confidence in this team and putting his money where his mouth is. It's because of Bobby Saleh and his press conferences, and I honestly do think that he believes in this team. And we haven't seen anything yet from our quarterback, so hopefully that can do something. And we have the most legit defense I've experienced since the Revis. Honestly, since the Revis defense and Rex Ryan, we haven't had this solid of a defense. Obviously, special teams is unreal. I'm feeling okay, man. Alex, I understand your trepidation, but I feel okay. Greg, you're usually somewhere in the middle. How you feeling, man? How you feeling with these injuries, with these acquisitions? Week 8.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the injuries I think obviously are devastating. It's our best offensive player and the Rookie of the Year front runner. So that's tough. Both young guys, AVT in his second year, and then Breece in his first year. So It's tough, but it's football. It is what it is. Like if you're gonna be a good team and you're gonna compete, you need to have depth. We obviously have depth. You tweeted out earlier this week, John. You talked about it in group chats. I'm in on Bam Knight. I think he looked good in the preseason. I was ready for him to play sometimes. We were talking in the preseason of who we're keeping between Ty Johnson, Bam Knight, and Tevin Coleman. I was a Bam Knight guy, so I'm with you on it, man. Obviously, Joe Douglas felt a different way and felt like we needed more depth with James Robinson. It's the Brian, whoever the linebacker was that we traded, some no-name guy.
Blake Cashman.
Yeah, Blake Cashman, that's right.
Yeah.
I want to say Brian Cashman, but I knew that was the wrong guy.
Oh my God, here we go.
Yeah, so Blake Cashman, we trade him for James Robinson. I mean, that's a steal in my mind. Yes, he's coming off an injury. Yes, it's going to take some time to get used to this offense, but we have Michael Carter. We have Bam. We have to run the football. Zach Wilson's running for his life. The offensive line scares me. It did not look good after AVT went out. Didn't really look great before AVT went out. So I'm nervous about that for sure. But if we're going to compete, before the season we talked about being in the hunt. I think in the long term, I'm not concerned about being in the hunt. I'm concerned about playoff runs. I feel like we have the staff and the GM to do that. So whatever happens this season. I already think it's a success if Zach Wilson could show something in the back half of the season. But to me, injuries, they suck, but we have to get through it. We have to deal with it. Dude, we've been dealing with it all season. 5 offensive linemen on the injured reserve already this season. It's a problem, but once everyone comes back, once everyone's healthy, we'll have a whole bunch of guys. So,
and 5 of those are tackles. I mean, that's an unprecedented number.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Max Mitchell, I think he looked pretty good before he went down. I think he's going to be back.
Especially in the run game.
Yeah.
Especially in the run game.
Fant looked good. Fant looked good too. So when these guys get back and get going, I think it's going to be good. I saw Dwayne Brown on the injury report, limited participant this week. I think he's going to be limited probably most weeks.
Yep.
But we need him. We need the guys that are on the team now to stay healthy. So
yeah,
hoping for a healthy week, hoping for a good week. Not too worried right now. Worried about this week, not worried about last week. Let's focus on this Patriots team because, to your point, we have to exercise some demons here. We have to beat Bill Belichick and the Patriots, especially at home.
That's a fact. And with John's now changed tone from being concerned, after the game Greg, I mentioned on last pod too, where if John's was questioning the Elijah Moore not getting a reception that day, even though he got one, it was called back. And then last week he's like, I'm concerned, man. And now I'm feeling better. I could be a little bit more confident going into this weekend. All right.
Let's go.
I can be a little more confident.
Let's go. And Greg, you mentioned Bam Knight. He's on the roster.
Yeah, he got activated.
Yeah, he got activated. Look, we need depth, man. Greg's talking about we need depth. We have depth. It's now utilizing the offensive line. Biggest concern. I mean, the left side, from our center to the left side, it should be fine. You still got McGovern. You got Tomlinson. You got Dwayne Brown. It's Nate Herbig. It's Mike Remmers.
Run left, boys. Run left.
Cedric OG, baby. Let's go. Let's see what he got.
This is where you start. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Hey, James Robinson, if you can get some action in there today. Michael Carter, we need you to play. You need to step up, man. More than we've asked before. But
here's the thing, dude. We're playing literally the top sack leader in the NFL.
I know, which is even crazier. But let's get into James Robinson then, because he's the new addition. We saw him suit up today. Short week for him. I don't expect him to get that much action, especially since but I expect him to be utilized, but I expect this to be a Michael Carter day more than a James Robinson day. Greg, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's
in terms of snaps or in terms of production?
Snaps.
I think snaps wise, it's going to go Michael Carter, Bam Knight, and then Robinson. If Robinson's even suiting up, I don't know.
Over Ty Johnson, we saw Ty Johnson get some touches last week. Really?
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. You have to get guys in there that know the playbook. I mean, Robinson's going to be good in the long run for us,
right?
But I don't expect too much from him this week. Michael Carter was great in the pass game last week. He was great rushing the ball. We've seen it last year. He's had some big runs. He's had some big plays.
Absolutely.
He can be explosive. He can find his lane and he could hit it. So. I'm expecting big things from Michael Carter. I'm expecting big things from this offense because, again, there's talk online about Zach Wilson this, Zach Wilson that. If we keep playing lights out defense and we keep doing great on special teams and we can run the football, Zach Wilson, in my mind, can complete 10 passes for 100 yards and no touchdowns every single week because we'll be in position to win those games.
John, what are
some
your
of those
thoughts
go
on
to
that?
Elijah Moore, right?
Yeah, please.
What's up, Alex?
I said, what are your thoughts,
thoughts on
on
the
James
running back?
Robinson, man? You think he's gonna give us some big production plus snaps? Is that what you're thinking?
Here's the thing. I'm with you guys when it comes to actual production.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I could see it definitely going Michael Carter, getting the most yards / catches, and then maybe Bam Knight getting a couple carries, and then maybe Robinson getting like 5 total, between carries and receptions / targets. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So I totally see that. But in terms of snaps, dude, like out of respect, you're gonna have Ty Johnson in there on first down, I believe, because he can't be Michael Carter. Like Michael Carter can't block. So when it's a passing down, you can't have Michael Carter in there. You just can't. So you can put Bam Knight in there. I don't know. You could put Ty Johnson in there. He's been blocking. Sometimes he whiffs. Sometimes he blocks. He's on and off about catching. Sometimes it hits him in the face. Sometimes he drops it. Sometimes he catches it.
Yeah, hits him in the face.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's on and off. James Robinson, to be honest with you, I've been looking a lot today to try to find out if he blocks. I couldn't find anything definitive. I was trying to look, trying even to go back and watch some games. It was tough.
To be honest, Joe Douglas couldn't trade for a running back that couldn't block, right? I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, that's why he made the trade for James Robinson. So the thing that I've seen on Jets Twitter, on the Jets YouTubes, in the Jets comment section everywhere, people are like, why don't we trust Michael Carter? Like, what's the issue here? We have Carter, we got Ty Johnson, we got this rookie Bam Knight, who was the king of NC State last year. NC State stinks without him, right? Like, and he did great in the preseason. Like, what's the problem? Why are we trading draft picks? And it's because we need a blocker. So in terms of production, I agree with you guys. It could be Carter's, and then depending on how we feel about Johnson, Knight, kind of depending on who dresses, and then Robinson being last out of respect. I totally get it, especially after the Moore thing last week. LaFleur is definitely being careful about like whose number is being called. I have to believe that. But dude, if James Robinson blocks, forget the run. If he blocks, all of our running backs can run, by the way. They can all run.
Yes.
If he can block, we're not going to skip a beat, which is crazy because best offensive player in Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive rookie of the year in Breece Hall. That's my thing. I'm ecstatic, man. I am ecstatic. We're going to have 2 tight ends. We're going to have a runner in there to block. I am very excited about running the ball against this Patriots team because, again, top sack leader, wide receivers are thin. Like, just run the damn ball, man. Run the damn ball. And get rid of it quick. Get rid of it quick. If you have to pass, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore. Quick. But we can't have real passing downs. I don't want to see us in shotgun once. I'm not even joking. I don't want to see the Jets in shotgun one time this entire game.
Well, the good thing about Robinson, right, is that he's also a guy who can catch out of the backfield like Michael Carter. So, and just looking at the stats, Robinson's rookie season was a 1,000-yard rusher, got 344 yards through the air as well. Out of 60 targets, caught 49 receptions, averaging 7 yards per reception. And he did 7.2 yards per reception the following year, still catching a high percentage, 81.7% rookie season, 67.4% this year, 81.8%. So this guy can catch out of the backfield. He can run. He can receive. He can do all those things. So it's not that we didn't get a slouch. And I think people who are questioning why, it's still you want depth, right? Like you got Breece Hall this year. You still have Bam Knight, but the good thing is that you have depth. You can throw rotation in there, right? Ty Johnson's the veteran who's just knows the playbook, and they need somebody that they can rely on in a pinch. But you're getting Robinson because this team has been so successful on the run game that you don't want to deviate too far from that and just ask Zach Wilson to be the quarterback that has to throw 35 times to win a game. We're not there yet. So why don't we still wean him in? And look,
I don't want to ever be there, Alex. I don't want to ever be there. We saw what happens when this offense throws 65 times a game. I don't understand.
You know what I'm saying? No. I'm not saying for this year. I'm saying in the future. At some point, he's going to have to be the guy that carries the team. This season, we don't have to ask that from him. He's in year 2. We don't have to force that. All right. So that's
we needed
all
it versus Pittsburgh, and he did it. That's all I'm going to say.
He can do. He can play in big moments. Look, he passed to Michael Carter to help get the first down against the Denver Broncos to get a field goal, right? He helped made winning plays last week. It's not going to if you just watch the game, people who are just like watching the box score, you got to watch the game and see what he's doing. He's getting pressure because the O-line wasn't doing too well against Denver. Granted, Denver has a good defense, but when you watch and he gets time, protection, the numbers show that he can complete the pass and he just do it, right? So that's not even a question. We've had a strong run game for the last couple of weeks. Let's make sure we keep a strong run game moving forward because that's why we've been successful and that's why you make this trade. And for Breece Hall, man, it's an ACL. He could be out for a year. You don't want to rush him back either. And if you got talent, you got talent. And that's a next year thing to figure out what you want to do with James Robinson or whoever. As of right now, they're competing 5-2. You don't want to derail that just because everyone starts getting injured. I don't agree with that. You got to keep that culture building moving forward where it's a winning culture now.
I love that. And let me just build on that real quick. There's a little bit of positivity in me that once the season ends, it's gonna end at some point. I don't think it's gonna be, in Arizona.
I mean, at some point the NFL season does end, John.
No, yes. But I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be in Arizona. I'm just gonna assume that it's not gonna be. It's gonna end earlier than that. We're gonna be annoyed. We're gonna be disappointed. And the first thing I'm gonna turn to is next year AVT's coming back. Next year Breece Hall's coming back. So and we still have all our draft picks. I already know. And the last thing about AVT is Willie Colon today talked about how he had the torn triceps and he was able to come in and be fine. We all know about the ACL stories, especially with running backs in the NFL since AP, let's say.
Yep.
So I'm gonna be positive after we lose, depending on how it goes. I'm just telling you right now, because of these injuries. It's like we have new draft picks coming in next year.
One last thing too on Robinson too. He also tore his ACL, so I think he's a great person to have in the locker room to talk with Breece Hall, go through the process with Breece Hall, so he can understand and talk to someone that's done it before. Also, he's a restricted free agent. So we have a better chance at signing him next year. And to your point, John, looking at the backfield of Breece Hall, James Robinson, and Michael Carter, that's a huge upgrade from where we were a year ago in just 2 seasons with 1 draft pick.
Yeah.
And what did we trade? It was like it's a 6th round, but it's a conditional 5th, right?
It could be 5th based on the amount of production. I think he has to have
I hope to God it's a 5th. I'm praying it's a 5th. You know what I mean? Because that means James Robinson's killing.
Yeah. Nah, for sure.
And who do you really draft in the 5th and 6th round anyway?
You can get lucky, but hey, I hear you.
You can get lucky, but when's the last time someone got lucky? I mean,
Max Mitchell was 4th?
Yeah, 4th. Yeah, 4th. I think the first 4 rounds you can find good people. 5th and 6th guys, those are tough. 7th round guys are tough. That's all I'm saying. We
don't draft the 7th round. We the Jets literally do not.
Yeah, Joe Douglas is allergic to it.
Yeah, he's like, whoa. He was like, that's too long of drafting. I can only do 6.
He's like, I want to get out of here. This has been fun, but I got.
That's really what it is. Probably. He's like, look, man.
But dude, all I'm saying is, you trade a 6th round pick for a proven commodity in the NFL. You know what you're getting. With
you got
to.
That's a great deal, man. Great deal for the Jets. But John mentioned on somebody coming back and Mike LaFleur making sure he calls his number. And look, we even saw the video of Elijah Moore and Mike LaFleur dapping each other up.
The dap heard around the world.
Shout out to Connor Hughes. He says Mike LaFleur is not a handshake guy. He's a big dap guy. I don't ever think I saw Mike LaFleur handshake anybody in my life.
But he went in for the fist bump first. He did the quick switch up. He went in for the fist bump, the quick switch up to the dap. I mean, things are good. Like that. Everybody knows that first interaction after you have some sort of beef with someone that everybody knows about. You know what I mean? That there's some. So you wanted to go smooth. It went perfectly, and that shout out to Bobby Saleh. This all happened after Moore and LaFleur fought, and that's why this whole thing blew up. After that, we have Sauce Gardner, making Bible tweets. We got Elijah Moore with the Bible tweets. We have subs from.
We have Sauce Gardner. Talking about
everybody, dude. Everybody's talking about it.
We had Damian Woody out here commenting for both sides. So it's everyone and their grandmother came out and had something to say about it, and rightfully so. But then we have the question today, which I have to read from new beat reporter for The Athletic, Zach Rosenblatt. Someone asked Robert Saleh did Elijah Moore still want to be traded, and Bobby Saleh said, I don't know, I didn't ask him. Which I'm like, Who's asking these questions, man?
I
Who's
love him
going in
so
there be like,
much.
hey, by the way, did you ask if Elijah Moore still wants to be traded? Like, who asked that? It's like going up to
No.
your girlfriend like, hey, did you still want to break up with me today? Like,
I mean, like it was a good question, like the way it came out. Like it was a good follow up. Like, hey, did you talk to him? Yeah. Like, does he still want to trade? It's honestly that's kudos to him. That's kudos to the coach and how he's able to navigate the press conferences, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not too long ago that we had to listen to Todd Bowles. Like, go listen to the Todd Bowles press conference from last week after the Tampa game.
Ooh.
It's the worst thing I've ever heard of. I literally went back. Like I went back to being a Jets fan, watching Todd Bowles just stare at me for the entire game and then just say nothing like he's Bill Belichick, you know, and we're losing games. And speaking of Bill Belichick, his press conference today was the worst thing I've ever heard. This guy, everybody's telling me he's the best coach to ever walk the earth. He's about to he's about to tie the record or break the record to be second versus the Jets in wins. Oh my! His son is with him. He learned from his dad. He's amazing. He has the rings. Everything is great about Bill Belichick, right? He can't draft. Nobody wants to talk about that. And he has the worst press conferences of all time. He's the biggest jerk I've ever seen today. Ask him about his fumble, his absolute fumble with the quarterbacks. And he's talking about, oh, we're going to see today. We're going to see today. And then like, okay, what do you want to see? I don't know. We're just going to see. Yeah. Like, okay, like there's that. And then there's like players like, oh, we don't even know who the players like, dude, we don't even know who's going to play quarterback. And then we have Bobby Saleh, who is here. He's sticking up for Elijah Moore. He's sticking up for all his players. He sticks up for Mekhi Becton. He sticks up for Elijah Moore. He sticks up for Brees. You know, he's upset just as we are when AVT goes down and Brees Hall goes down. He's not giving us the, okay, yeah, next man up, you know, yeah, just do your job. No. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Todd Bowles would tell me too. Oh, yeah, you know, you just got to do better and execute. No. Like, you know, so
John.
I think this is all about our coach. We were so hard on Ulbrich from day one. We have one of the best defenses in the league. We were so hard on Bobby Saleh. He has us at 5-2, 4-0 on the road, 1-0 in the division, with now two quarterbacks. Some with Flacco, now Zach Wilson. He's on his fifth tackle. He had one wide receiver try to quit last week. Like, you know what I mean? The guy is holding it down, of course, with Boyer and the special teams, man. So I think this is all, like, I'm so happy Elijah Moore is back. I think he's going to play a big role in this offense. But it's all credit to Bobby Saleh, man. It's all everything right now is credit to Coach Saleh. And if it wasn't for Brian Dable killing it with the Giants, if it wasn't for the Eagles being 6-0, Saleh would be up there with the Coach of the Year talk, in my opinion. And that's the Elijah Moore situation is like the top of the list for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just happy to have Elijah Moore back. I mean, we saw that he could have been used last week against the Broncos. Like, we really needed him. This week we need him. Although we're playing against a stingy pass defense, okay? And I'm not expecting Zach Wilson to go out here and, Aaron Rodgers up everything and just, old Aaron Rodgers, I should say. Old Aaron Rodgers. Not new Aaron, not latest Aaron Rodgers. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers in his heyday.
I don't think the Patriots are stingier than the Broncos. I don't even think it's close, especially in the secondary.
I agree with that, but they're still pretty stingy secondary that they got over there.
Yeah. Listen, I know I said I'm going to throw out last week in the trash, but if Justin Fields can throw against the New England Patriots, like, I have to believe somewhere in my heart that Zach Wilson can throw for first downs. Like, third and shorts, we can convert as long as you contain number 9. Number 9, I hope that our offensive linemen, they go to sleep thinking about Judon. They wake up thinking about Judon. When they close their eyes, they just see a big number 9 in their head. Like, that's all I care about this week. That's all I'm focused on is stop Judon. If we stop Judon, we're gonna kill this game.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Do you think Elijah Moore is going to be productive, or do you think it's going to be a bunch of nonsense, guys? Do you think it's going to be like
produce? I don't see.
I think he'll produce. I think he's going to get more involved this week. He's going to be more involved this week. It just comes down to Zach Wilson. Will he get enough time to connect with Elijah Moore? And this is where you wonder if the line can hold up. I think Zach Wilson can connect with Elijah Moore, and I think it'll be fine. So
They're gonna get him. I predict the second play of the game. The first play is gonna be a run, just to see what's up, right? And I think the second play of the game legit will go to Elijah Moore, just to shut everybody up, because the stadium is gonna be electric. Jet Life Stadium this week is going to be electric, man. Like Miami
really
game
is.
was the best game I've ever been to at MetLife. And it was because we were doing okay. We were desperate for a win. Now we're actually good. We're going to be rocking, man. And we can't have animosity towards one of our players. The Yankees, they saw firsthand with Aaron Judge. The Knicks saw it last year firsthand with Julius Randle. And the Jets are about to see it with Elijah Moore if he doesn't get involved early this week, honestly. So I'm looking for him to get involved early, and I'm looking for Braxton Berrios to run one back to the house. But that's a different story for a different day.
Let's go.
Are you worried about Zach Wilson this week? Are you worried about Zach Wilson at all?
Greg, are you worried about him, Greg?
I'm worried about his health because he's run for his life. I mean, that Broncos game, to your point, Alex, if you go back and you just read the box score and you look at the stats, it doesn't paint a third of the picture of what happened in the game. Yes, there wasn't big explosive plays. There was big plays he made with his feet to avoid 15-yard sacks where guys were coming in not
death.
touched. Slash season-ending
The fact
injury.
that he was able to avoid 2 sacks and just spin his way out, like running 20 yards backwards, was insane.
Dude,
multiple times.
That like left-handed, like I don't even know, shovel pass when you like literally had to avoid every single person on the line was one of the scariest plays I've ever experienced.
Dude, I thought, jeez, that's why like when it comes to this week, I'm concerned about the line and like the Patriots. Like they got a good defense, but the one thing about the Patriots, man, and we can get into this right now. Let's get into this whole Patriots talk because I'm not worried about Zach Wilson either. I think he'll be fine. Actually,
wait.
Yeah, we
Greg,
got Shugri coming up next.
Greg, do you think that Zach is going to be the issue? You think he's going to throw turnovers?
I don't think so. I think he's gonna be fine. I think that the thing with the Chicago Bears is that like they had like 5, designed runs for their QB. So I'm not sure what we're going to do to replace that. We have to run against them, and I don't want Zach Wilson running the football, so it worries me a little bit. Fields had I think 80 yards rushing, 60 yards rushing, something like that, maybe even more. I don't want Zach Wilson running as a primary option. I want our running backs to be doing that. He's going to have to run to avoid the pressure of Judon because, of course, I bet Judon last year to lead the league in sacks, and this year he's doing it, so that's how gambling goes. And the offensive line's beat up. So I think Zach Wilson's going to be fine. I don't see a turnover problem because he hasn't done it yet. I think he's going to be fine. I just don't think he's going to light it up. I think he's going to get his first passing touchdown. Maybe to Elijah Moore this week. I think he's going to really right the ship, bring everyone back. To your point, we can't be booing our own guys. Like, Jets Twitter was funny for a day or two. It can't go on all season. It's like, dude, we got to get over this. Elijah Moore has to get over this. And we have to move on because we have too good of a defense. We have too good of special teams to be fumbling around and wasting it on the offense, just not being able to produce and get anything going.
And it's Patriots week.
Yeah.
So let's get into this game. Let's get into this game then, because I think I agree with you. I agree with you, Greg. I think Zach Wilson is going to quiet everybody and get that passing touchdown this week. But if we're going to be playing the Patriots, the one thing I've noticed is that they're actually not that great against the run. And this is like a prime opportunity for the Jets to come in, continue to run on them, because the pass defense is the Patriots' strong suit. But being able to run on this team is going to be key for this week for the New York Jets once again. So when we talked about it, you got James Robinson, you got Michael Carter, who's probably going to get the designated start. You got Ty Johnson, you got Bam back there. We got a lot of versatility in the backfield. We just need the offensive line to create the opening so that way our running backs can get through. And then once that happens, you can get some play action in there. You can start opening up the playbook, get some passing going. Then we can start seeing that, that Elijah Moore, Zach Wilson touchdown that will correct everything and make everybody happy. We'll make Elijah Moore happy. Zach Wilson will be happy because he has another passing touchdown instead of just holding on to one. Michael Ford will be happy because his wide receiver will be happy. And then the fans will be happy because Zach Wilson threw a touchdown. Elijah Moore should be now content to some extent.
Sure. What a world.
What a world.
I love that. I love that fantasy land, expectation. I hope it happens. But the last time the Patriots came into town, Zach Wilson threw 4 interceptions. You know what I mean? And I remember specifically going through each and every one of them. Two of them were bad.
Yeah.
Two of them specifically were very bad. So the Patriots are going to dare Wilson to throw. So I'll toss it up to you, Greg. What do you think about Wilson throwing? And we were just talking about Wilson and his health. Right? And, we saw what Justin Fields did. Do you think that there's going to be some designed runs for Zach Wilson out here? Kind of like the option, too? I mean,
I don't think so just because you have to protect him. I mean, I was just looking at the box score from Monday night's game. Fields ran the ball 14 times for 80 yards.
3 players on the Bears had over 60 yards.
Yeah, then Montgomery had 15 attempts, 60, and then Herbert had 12 attempts and 60. So they had 240 rushing yards.
That's crazy.
It's insane. So that's why their defensive rushing statistics are skewed off, because they got absolutely manhandled by the Chicago Bears. It's not very often you can say that about a team, and I'm happy it's the Patriots I'm saying it about.
But it's the Bears. They're tanking. They literally traded Robert Quinn today for a 4th-round pick. Like, it makes no sense.
It makes no sense, but it happened. So, passing-wise, I think...
I like this making sense. The Patriots suck, all right? Let's just make that makes sense. They're
that
3
does
and 4,
make
right?
sense.
I cannot physically say that until this. We play them 2 times in 3 weeks. I mean, we're going to find out exactly where we stack up. But this... Zach Wilson losing in Foxborough after the Patriots bye, even though it's our bye, that's one thing. Coming in right now, the Jet Life Stadium,
coming in hot,
the stealth black with the Brickashaw Ferguson, like this is it. This is it for us. Like, if we can't win this game, it's gonna go down. We're gonna be 5-5 before we even blink.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think so. Just to wrap up the Zach Wilson stuff real quick, I want to think on that, dude. I think I saw some tweet out there. It was like the NFL statistics over from last year to this year and how they changed. One of the big things that's down is air yards, like passing yards, but one thing that's up a lot is yak yards, like run after the catch. So I really do think it's going to be like Elijah Moore quick hitters, Braxton Berrios quick hitters, Conklin quick hitters. Get these guys in space, give them the ball, let them run. We saw Michael Carter last week broke a big one. Like, just get the ball out of your hands, to your point, John, quick. So Judon's not a problem. The rest of his defense is a problem. Zach Wilson, I don't think is going to launch it down the field for 30, 50-yard passes, but I think it's going to start adding up if these guys can run the ball after the catch.
Denzel Mims season?
Maybe 1 or 2 deep to him just to give it a shot.
No block, no rock.
Dude.
Last week he was fine.
Dude, he was great.
CJ Uzama and Denzel Mims are going to be huge in the blocking game, man.
Yeah, and we need it.
Yeah, especially for this week. All right, well, before we get out of here, guys, what do we think this
we got
the thing that we know, the thing that we know that's going to show up this week before I say we go is the team defense. All right.
Yeah.
That's going to show up. The quarterback? I think they said it's going to be McCorkle, right? He's going to be quarterbacking back there. It's going to be good.
Give me McCorkle Jones, baby. Give me McCorkle Jones.
And give me Zeppy, whoever, Pepe or Pew. I don't care who's back there.
Give me Zappy Hour in the second half. Give me Mac Jones. I don't like, this is everything we wanted. If we lose to the Patriots.
It's set up for the Jets, man. It really is set up for the Jets.
If we lose to the Patriots, no problem. If we get killed by the Patriots, and then we have the Bills next week at home, bye week, and then we go into Foxborough, I'm telling you, we're going to be down bad real quick. We're going to go from the NFL's darling to we're going to be in the hunt. and we're going to be 5-5, like, okay, what's going on here with this wild card? Like, that's going to happen real quick. So it's a big game for our morale. It's the Brickashaw Ferguson day. Like, that has to mean something for the Jets organization. Like, one of our biggest tenured linemen. We're gonna be
indestructible linemen.
We're gonna be hyped. Yeah. There's no, and we're dogs at home. We're dogs at home to a team that lost by 37, and also the Chicago Bears kneeled the ball at the 2-yard line out of respect for these loser New England Patriots. First of all, I love Jones on the Bears calling out New England, like, yeah, I've heard they're still deflating balls. I'm gonna check them all. Like, you better not mess with them. Then what happens? They lose by 35. Like, I'm just saying.
And wait, John, where did they lose to the Chicago Bears 33-14? Where? What arena,
bro?
Exactly. They got stomped out in their own home.
I'm just saying. And the last time
It's not the first time they got stomped down their own home.
The
Because
last
the
time
Ravens
the
stomped on
Jets
them
were in
too.
Foxborough. Last time the Jets were in Foxborough, Alex. And I remember like it was freaking yesterday. We lost, was it 54-3? 54-13? What was the stupid score? 3, right? I'm pretty
54
sure
to 13.
13.
13.
They were throwing go routes up 30 points. Like, I hate this team more than anything. I hate Bill Belichick. And if we're winning, listen, I'm gonna say the dumbest thing I've ever said on this podcast. If yesterday's game, the Monday night game, it's exactly the Jets versus the Patriots, and we're up by whatever 30, and we're on the 2-yard line, and we need the ball, I'm gonna be furious at the New York Jets. I am honestly gonna come here flipping tape. I'm gonna be so pissed about this.
It's got to be straight murder. If we're murdering them,
might be the dumbest thing I ever said.
Run it
might
up
be
to
the most
60.
arrogant thing I ever
Run it up
said.
to 70. There's no mercy for this team. None.
I don't give a damn that we're playing them in 2 weeks. I don't care if it's bulletin board material. We better, if we have the chance, if it's possible, we better keep our foot on the gas. I don't want to need the ball. I do not want to need the ball. Unless it's a close game and we have it, we're just trying to kill the clock. I do not want to kneel it. Just saying. I
hear you, man.
I'm so excited for Jet Life Stadium.
So with that being said, what are you guys' predictions this week?
Bring me Shukri rights. I have a bone to pick with Shukri, bro. Bring me Shukri rights.
Before we get to the Shukri segment, what do we as us three? What do we predict this game to be? And John, to your point, yes, we lost that badly. The last time the New York Jets defeated the New England Patriots was back in 2015. As we saw today, roaming around the Twitter streets on Jets Twitter was the idiotic moment when the Patriots decided to kick to the New York Jets instead of receive in overtime. And the Jets decided to march down with a Quincy Enunwa reception, then a Brandon Marshall reception, and an Eric Decker touchdown that the New York Jets would defeat the Patriots 26-20 in overtime. That was in 2015. And the last time we defeated the Patriots was also in overtime in 2013.
Yeah, man, that's what happens when you get a touchdown by Austin Seferian-Jenkins and they call it back and give the ball to the other team on the 20-yard line. It's tough to win ball games.
It's tough to beat the other team and the rest. I was saying it last week when we were playing Denver. I'm going to be saying it again, I'm sure, this week when we're playing New England. It's tough to beat the other team and the refs.
So
they're just talking golf, bro. They're just talking golf.
Yeah, they're Texas A&M alum to Texas A&M alum. What's your golf game like?
Yeah, nothing to do with Tom Brady.
No, nothing to do with signing stuff.
So John, I'm going to start with you. What is your score prediction this week?
I don't even know what the over-under is. We got Winning Picks Weekly coming up here, so I know I'll know soon. But I got the under, whatever the hell it is. I'm gonna go with 17, 13.
The over-under right now is 40.5.
Perfect. 17-13.
That sounds pretty good. By the way, Jets are 2.5 underdogs.
That's unreal.
It's crazy. Check out Winning Picks Weekly.
About that at Winning Picks Weekly.
Check out.
About that.
Give me hammer the money line. It's plus 118.
We've been doing it every week, Alex. We've been doing it every week.
We're
all right, Greg.
On the freaking road.
What do you got, Greg?
I'm gonna go a little unconventional because I see the graphic every week of the experts picking games. I think we had a guest on a few weeks ago who did it when we were predicting scores, and they threw out the number 22.
Yes.
That's such a hard number, unless I'm missing something, to get to football-wise. And
that's a Jets-Bills score twice in a row. So next week, I promise you, my score, I'll tell you right now, regardless of this week, is going to be Jets 22, Bills 17. Because that's always the score with the Jets and the Bills.
Okay.
Right? It happened like 2 times in a row when they wore the colorblind game on Thursday night.
The Christmas Day colors? Oh,
yeah,
my God.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm a week ahead of it because I just see it so much. It's a number in my head. It's the signs. It's whatever you want it to be. So I'm going Jets 22, Patriots 13.
Jets 22, Patriots 13. I'm liking what John's saying. John, you chose 17-13? Is that what you chose?
2 touchdowns. It could be 16. Like a bunch more field goals.
I like the 17.
I like 17 too.
I like the 17. I'm gonna go 17-10. 17-10 New York Jets with the victory. I don't see McCorkle throwing on us.
Zappy hour.
There's a chance it gets out of hand.
Zappy, Mappy, Peppy. I don't care.
For some stupid reason, Ripon decided to throw at Sauce Gardner. Do it again. I was screaming in Green Bay. Everyone was laughing around me. Don't throw the one. Don't throw the one. Don't throw the one. They threw the one time. Was laughing around me because this is about to be an interception. Do not throw to Sauce Gardner. If you throw to your back and DJ Reed is coming, he's gonna light up the player. Like Ramondre Stevenson is gonna get lit up this game. Damian Harris is gonna get lit up.
Let me tell you right now. Mac Jones, 67 completions out of 103 attempts, 2 TDs, 6 interceptions.
He sucks.
He's gonna try Sauce. He's gonna try it.
It's
gonna happen.
Do it.
Huh? I want him to. Because he's going to get intercepted twice against Sauce.
The only thing I'm really worried about is Damian Harris catching balls out of the backfield, Ramondre Stevenson catching balls out of the backfield, and Hunter Henry.
Yes.
Yeah,
that is a totality of that's a totality of what I'm actually worried about. Dude, the Jets better win. I don't like that we all have it. But you speaking of expert picks, shout out to Daniel Jeremiah.
Holding it down for the boys.
He keeps picking the other, like, if you, obviously whoever gets mad does not know that he just keeps picking 24-17 the other way, and every week it just keeps hitting. See, that's the stupid stitious guy we need on our side.
Yeah.
Switching up jerseys when we're on this win streak, man. Listen, if we lose this game, every single inch of blame is going to go on the jerseys. It's going to go on Elijah Moore. It's going to go on Zach Wilson. Like, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, I'll give you a preview of Monday Jets Twitter right now.
Yeah, like that's the 3. Like from 1, 2, 3, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Yep.
Maybe blame the offensive lineman. Talk about how the season's over because ABT's out. I mean, It's just so clear. It's just this Jets team, Alex. If we beat the New England Patriots and we are 6-2,
if we're 6-2, we're on top of the world. I mean, if Jets are 6-2 in October, by the 30th,
tune in for the rapid reaction. If we're 6-2, bro, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, tune in because we're gonna be going. It's gonna be buck wild. All right, well, that's for this portion. Make sure to stay tuned because we got Shukri Wright coming up next to give us that inside knowledge on our arch enemies, the New England Patriots. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe. We're on all audio listening platforms. We got that YouTube channel going up. Make sure to check out Winning Picks Weekly. These guys are on fire right now. All right. Between John, Greg, Chip, these guys are doing it all. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. Come on. It's for free. It's the easiest way to support us. It's for free. You don't got to pay a dime. All right. Help us out so that we can keep creating this content. Appreciate you all. Make sure to stay tuned. Here comes Shukri Wright.
Record.